You guys have been a part of everything in our lives for so long now that I am going to take you through our thought process as we decide to send Caroline from homeschool back to public school and kind of what that looks like on our end. So here we go. First things first, I think it's important that we start with the disclaimer that when she was pulled to homeschool, it was not for any political, religious, community issue at all. It's not a school issue. She needed the time at home to kind of grow and set her foundation, and that was a very personal choice that we made at that time. Now, she is pretty confident in who she is, where her boundaries are, and she has made this decision. So she made the decision to come out after completing kindergarten and first grade in the same school system, and now she has made the decision to go back in. And my job as her mom is to try and set her up for her best life. And part of that, in my opinion, is honoring her thought process and trusting her to make decisions with my guidance. So that's kind of where we were, how we got where we are, and where we're headed. We have absolutely loved our homeschool life, and if she goes to school for a couple months, gives it a solid college try, and decides that it's not for her, of course she is welcome to come back home, and I will be right here waiting. Caroline and I are headed to our school's administration office here in just a little bit before our cheer practice to see about getting her re-enrolled in the public school system. She attended kindergarten and first grade. At the end of first grade, after having the best teacher in the entire world, I'm not joking, she's an actual angel on earth, we pulled her from school. Not because of COVID, not because of politics, not because of the school. She just was not thriving, and she was asking every day, could I please stay home, in like actual tears. Not just, hey, I've got a tummy ache, I'm a little anxious. This was something more. So we went ahead and we pulled her, and we've been homeschooling the past 3 years. This is the start of our 4th year, and we have loved it. I 100% love homeschool life, and I would keep her home forever. However, I had always told her, if you ever want to go back, we will put you back. We'll let you try it again. And just recently, she announced to my cheerleaders, I think I want to go back to public school. So here we are, we have prayed over it, we have discussed it as a family and individually, and now is the time. So the first thing that you should know is that when we pulled her from school, I asked our school secretary, what is the best way to do this? Because like stated, this was not on the school. I was not mad at the school. So what if this isn't working out? What if I need to bring her back? And they said, go ahead and sign up with the state, with the DOE, and let them know that you are intending to homeschool. And there is a letter of intent that you can find templates for online. So I followed that template, I sent it in, and I was given what I was referred to as like a homeschool student ID. I just went back through my emails and found my emails. This is dated May 16th, 2022, and it is my homeschool verification number. I don't really know why the government needs to know that we were going to homeschool. I don't even care. It's not illegal. So they said, the school said, if we ever decided to bring her back, having this verification student ID number would make it easier on their end because they would know where she's been. Totally fine. So I have that number. I'm going to bring it, and I'm creating a list now of questions that I have, so that I don't get in there and just be like, duh. We want to make sure we are set up for success as best we can. And yeah, so here we go with the list. Okay, so I have my list of medical questions first. Because Caroline is so special, she is a type 1 diabetic. She also has allergy-induced asthma, which doesn't affect her very much, but every now and then she will need her inhaler. So my questions are, does she need to go to the office for everything? Can she keep anything on her person? She does her own injections. Does the nurse have to do it? Does the nurse have to monitor it? I would imagine the answer is yes, since she'll be at school. The school is like somewhat liable. The Follow app, because we're on Dexcom. does the nurse end up getting onto the Follow app and following her, so she's getting alerted as well as us. Do I text the nurse if I'm like, hey, she's been high, what the heck's going on? Or she's low, somebody give her a Smartie. Can she keep Smarties in her pocket? For lunch, she needs insulin before she eats. So does she leave class 10 minutes early? How does this work? Okay, so my next section of questions is about learning. Now, it is not confirmed yet, but I'm pretty sure Caroline is dyslexic. And we are getting her tested for it. It was decided that we were gonna do this test prior to her revelation, words, that she wanted to go back to school. So that test is being performed by a state-approved facility on the 30th of September, which is one of the reasons when we get to start date, I'll share with you why I'm hoping for a certain start date. I also know that she's behind the standard in math. That is because I never have believed that a 9-year-old needs to multiply. 9-year-olds, 9 to 10, you're in 3rd grade and you're learning your multiplication facts and you're multiplying. Why? Like, where in real life does a 9-year-old need to multiply? So when we were doing math and I realized that her addition and subtraction had some fundamental blocks missing, we took all the time. We went back to the beginning, back to basics, and we worked through it. Now she is multiplying now. However, she is multiplying single digits. They are multiplying like triple digits, and they have gotten to long division. She has started division, but again, it's single digits. So now I'm wondering, is there like tutoring? Does she just get put in a different math class? Does she get pulled out? Do they just do they just expect her to pick up the pace and get with the program? How does that work? Also, speaking of tests, what about placement tests? Stella, this isn't about you. In homeschooling, we do placement tests every time we switch curriculum. Like, there is always a placement test so that you are placed exactly where you need to be. Do they do placement tests? Or is she just gonna be like, hey, there's an open desk in this class, here you go. Now, I know personally, she is on track with her grammar, with like her English language arts. I believe she is ahead of the game in reading. Her science should be pretty much on board, and her history should be pretty much on board. And I did go on to ChatGPT and asked it to create for me a standardized test for Indiana 5th graders. And I had her take that test, and we knew that math was gonna be rough, and truly math was the only thing that was rough. So I'm not too worried about the other classes. It's really just math, but these are all things that I want to ask. Okay, and then here we are with part 3, the start date. I like to start things at the beginning. So my original thought was October 1st. We'll just go in 1st of October. Well, the 1st of October is a Wednesday. Doesn't matter a whole lot to me, and it might be easier for her to go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then have a 2-day break, since this is a completely new schedule for her. However, October 4th is a Monday. 4th? 6th? Numbers. See, I don't do math either, but it's the following Monday. 6th. It's the 6th. And that would be okay with us too if they wanted her to come in on a Monday. But then I was thinking, we're not used to grading periods. When is the grading period? Is it starting soon? Do we need to wait until November? Like, does she need to come in at a 3-week mark or a 6-week mark? If we just throw her in now, like, does the WISC test have any effect on where she's gonna be placed? If they're waiting to see, like, oh, hey, this kid needs an IEP because of her dyslexia, whatever. Do you get an IEP for dyslexia? That's another question I need to write down. And this is why I'm making a list, because in the moment, I'm just gonna be like, hi, my kid loves you. And that's it. That's all I got. All right. Well, fun fact from the future, all you do at that first visit is get the information on who to contact to confirm that you live in district. So that's all that happened there. I went ahead and I had to send in like a mortgage statement, a water bill, an insurance statement, just proving that our names are attached to this address and it is in district. From there, you set an appointment to go and talk with the school, pointedly the secretary, and in our case, the school nurse. So that ended up happening like the next day is the day, not that school starts, but that we go to the school. I have forms.
I'll get my phone in my bag, guys.
Yes. Yeah, this is not 4-H school. So how do you feel?
I'm good.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
I'm more nervous about math than anything.
And so now the fun begins. To answer some of the questions that I had, first and foremost, I forgot my list of questions. So we were still winging it, but I am a person who learns by committing things to memory by writing. So I was pretty good. She is able to keep her Dexcom receiver on her. She can keep her phone on her because it is a medical thing. The inhaler is able to stay on her person as long as her asthma specialist sends in a form saying that she can self-treat. She'll just get up, go to her cubby, hit her inhaler, and call it a day. Her blood sugar will be checked 3 times a day by the nurse. They pull up her Dexcom. They do get on the Follow app, and they actually have a tablet that sits in their office out in the open where they can easily glance at it and monitor all of the kids' numbers. Increasingly amounts of diabetics in our schools. There are at least 4 in the upper elementary, and there are 9 in the middle school, which to me seems crazy because when I was a kid, I didn't know anybody with diabetes at all. It was a smaller school system at that point because I also went to these schools, but just weird to see how many kids are affected. Like, you're not special. We are set to begin school October 20th, and it did have to do with grading periods. If we were to send her right away, which they would have accepted her, but if we were to, she would be expected to do their like end of the grading period tests, and she would get a report card based off of missed assignments and end of the grading period testing that she's not been there for. And that didn't really seem fair. And then a whole extra week because they are going on fall break. So October 20th, she leaves me. Oh, she's really trying to take advantage of these last couple weeks.
Hey, you won't have me for much longer.
Awful. She's awful. I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know. So far, now there's cat hair everywhere. The Hanover school system has been really easy to work with. We are excited about the teachers. She will switch classes like twice. She has like one teacher and then another teacher. Those are like her primary teachers. And then I think there's still like gym and stuff too. And then we went to a cheer practice and our game, and we were talking to the girls about it, and they were like, oh my gosh, those teachers are good. And I was like, yay, because we don't know. And when we were in the school and we walked through like for our tour and to see where her classrooms and stuff were going to be, a couple of her friends from first grade saw her like in the hall, and they were like, ah! So we're excited. The friend pool is going to be much larger. If you are homeschooling, I'm not saying this to dissuade you at all, but as you start to get to like almost middle school age, the amount of field trips, outings, the friend circles, this is an age where they start really setting boundaries and they know what they're willing to like deal with, personality clashes, and you're not forced to be around these people every single day. So if somebody is just like not meshing with you, you don't have to see them. It's kind of like adults. As adults, we all have other adult like acquaintances that we're like, ooh, I love you in small doses. So like we're gonna go do coffee and then I don't need to see you again for 2 weeks. And that's kind of how she's been. You're so weird.
I know.
But so now we're looking for a pencil case and a lunchbox. Is that it?
Yeah, and I want to get my nails done.
And she wants her nails and her hair did. Because it does need to be touched up. Anyway, that is it. That is our school update. That is us going back to school. I hope you enjoyed the video. We will continue to bring you along in our everyday life. And we will see you, aw, thanks, in the next one. Bye.